Purdue set the tone in that win over the Wolverines. And you do wonder, coaches love to scout. They love to look at every ounce of film that they can heading into matchups. How much Michigan's potential opponents in the NCAA tournament look at what Purdue did with Oscar Clough, run that pick and roll with Braden Smith and TKR, because it was very effective for Purdue. Michigan still. All that being said, clearly one of the favorites to make it to Indianapolis and the Final Four. Speaking of the team that knocked off the Wolverines here in Chicago, the Boilermakers were granted a number 2 seed by the committee. I give the selection committee a ton of credit because they clearly watched the championship game, had a couple of different brackets. Purdue would have been a 3 had they not won the Big Ten, but they're a number 2. They open up against Queens. Now, this is the bottom half of the West regional bracket. So assuming Purdue moves on, it would be Miami or Missouri. BYU Gonzaga, if seeds hold, would be a second-round matchup, and that would lead into a potential Sweet 16 game for Purdue. Boilermakers starting off in St. Louis. That West region is in San Jose. They're not worried about getting to San Jose. They just want to continue to find that form that somehow was rediscovered here in Chicago. Matt Painter, I wouldn't say all smiles, but certainly very pleased with what he saw from his team in Chicago this past week.
Everybody in the tournament's good. And so I really don't have a lot. I think what they really emphasize is just how good we were away from Mackey Arena. And the fact that I even got to say that we were, 6-4 in Mackey Arena, but we were. But if you go look, we're undefeated neutral. We win in Alabama. We beat a really good Texas Tech team when they had everybody. And so for us, to be able to win these 4 games, once again, neutral, and I think that's what got us over the hump. I don't know if we're here if we lose this game. We could have been a 3, but whatever. But I think those things really get magnified there. Just like when you win the regular season. I always say you bump a seed when you win the regular season with that, and obviously we didn't do that. So, we needed this work.
Jordan, we kept waiting after Purdue had a good start to the year, starting preseason number 1. They lacked chemistry. They lacked an identity even into February. We kept waiting for a team with so many veterans like Smith and TKR and Fletcher Lawyer, Oscar Clough, to figure it out. They figured it out in Chicago, won 4 games in a row. Now all they have to do is add 2 to that 4. You win 6 straight in March and early April. You're national champs for the first time ever.
Easy math. I think Purdue was one of those teams, too, kind of the opposite of Michigan, where they were battle tested throughout the season, where they got that reset going into the Big Ten tournament. Saw Michigan probably walk away with something they felt like they should have had. TKR even made a little slight jab to Michigan, talking about, hey, we let them have it, so we're going to come take this Big Ten title. But if you're Purdue now, Matt Painter talks about not looking ahead, but we're analysts, so we're going to look ahead.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. So we're going to look ahead. And I'm telling you, looking at their bracket, they're going to get past that first weekend. I feel confident about that. And then you look ahead, and it's BYU, a team that doesn't have Richie Saunders. It's a Gonzaga team that's playing the WCC. We know some of their tournament history. And then you get to Arizona, and anything can happen in that Elite Eight, or Wisconsin, whatever it may be. I think that, to your point, the NCAA committee got it right with Purdue's performance, and now they're looking at one of the best draws in the tournament.
And I think this is a different Purdue team. I mean, Braden Smith, obviously, the 46 assists were an all-time Big Ten tournament record. But it's not just Smith. I mean, Trey Kaufman-Renn was a different dude on Sunday.
Yeah, listen, I've talked to you at length in the green room about Braden Smith. I love Braden Smith to death, and well-deserved most outstanding player. However, you don't go around a guy like Adai Mar, you go through him. And Oscar Clough went through Adai Mar yesterday time and time again. He was the best player in that tournament for Purdue, in my opinion, hands down, and that's no slight to anybody else. 26 offensive rebounds in the tournament, 21 to lead the game yesterday. Did a great job at getting into his body, shutting down that length. And him and then TKR, that looked like the old TKR yesterday.
It did.
And I think that's what Purdue, when they went out and got these 2 bigs, they knew it was going to be a challenge to make them fit. It was a change-up from last year, and that was that's what they envisioned, what they saw yesterday.
I mean, how many 6'9" guys do you see, other than TKR, willing to take 8, 10 to 12-foot floaters? I mean, that shot is almost impossible to stop because of where he takes it from. The big is underneath the basket and too far away. A smaller guy out there toward the free throw line simply can't defend it. And Braden Smith, when we chatted with him after the championship game and he was named MOP, he seemed like, yes, I'm pleased. I won a Big Ten tournament title my freshman year and senior year, but I'm nowhere close to being done. I think he feels like he still has something to prove after the way the regular season went.
Well, he's still got to get one more assist for sure. 2 more assists, right?
I feel pretty good about his chances there.
Definitely got to prove that. But, yeah, both him and Coach Painter had this calm resolve about him. Even, I think everybody, the Boilermaker fans, is like, these are the guys that we thought we were going to get all year long. And to your point, with TKR, he makes it easy for Braden Smith. A lot of those assists are just simple, but as a point guard, some of the best things you can do is just make the simple play. And you got a guy shooting a push shot from 14. It makes it easier, but this Purdue team looks really poised to make a run. They got to come out hot and playing defense like they did. It was a little bit better, still got a ways to go on that side of the ball, but they're controlling the game with the offense.
Now, Purdue is not the only team in that region because Wisconsin is part of the top half of that West Regional bracket. Badgers will open up against High Point. Now, a lot of folks outside the Big Ten believe this is one of those 12-5 matchups that could see an upset because the Panthers love to get out and run if Wisconsin advances and the seeds hold. In the bottom portion of this quadrant, it would be Arkansas and Wisconsin in the second round. Of course, Arizona would likely await as the number 1 seed in the Sweet 16. I don't care who you play. I don't care who you're matched up against, in what region you're in. If you have 2 guards who can each drop 30 in a game like Boyd and Blackwell did on Friday, and it was the first time that any Wisconsin tandem had scored 30 in the same game in nearly 6 decades, you can beat anybody in this bracket from 1 down to 16.
1,000%. And I'm going to be the old head here and get on my soapbox a little bit with the bias. Every year someone says when Wisconsin's a 5, a 12 is going to beat them. It happened with James Madison. I don't know the exact record. I think it's like 19-3 or something, Wisconsin in the first round. But with this High Point team, John Blackwell and Nick Boyd, they can score. However, High Point, 15 points a game in transition. That's top 10 in the country. Wisconsin's defense has struggled at times. However, they give up 6 transition points or fast break points a game. That's also top 10 in the country over the last 5 games. They're 4th in turnover percentage, and their pace isn't as high as what people would maybe be led to believe right now. They're still in the bottom half of the country in pace, so they're still going to control the game, and that even goes back into your point about those 2 guards. They're going to control the game. They're going to control the pace. They're 4th in the country in the last 5 in turnovers. So I like Wisconsin in this game.
Still going to have to make some threes as well. We know that. Austin Rapp stepped up. He was huge in the tournament. Boyd and Blackwell. And that's where Nolan Winter's absence or inclusion comes in, because we've been told that Wisconsin is optimistic that Winter will be able to play in the NCAA tournament. I sat right behind the Wisconsin bench on Friday, and I watched Nolan Winter hobble around. I'm not quite as optimistic about whether he can play. I think the best scenario for Wisconsin is that they're able to get through these first couple of games, and then he's able to step back in for the Sweet 16, because as well as they've been playing without him, he adds that element of a big that can draw other bigs outside, he can shoot the 3, and he can rebound.
He can rebound. That's the biggest one right there. He can shoot the 3. Austin Rapp, those guys can shoot the 3. But with both these teams, High Point and Wisconsin, have been atrocious on the defensive glass. So honestly, I think that's also where the game is going to be won on the glass. Also, if you get past High Point, I agree with you. You want to have Nolan for that second weekend. But Arkansas, they get to that rim. They get downhill. So you got to have Nolan protecting the rim.
Couple extra days. Even if it's not the second weekend.
It will be helpful. And you talk to the coaching staff, Joe Krabenhoff, Sharif, Coach Gard, they're really optimistic. They think he's going to play. Now, Joe Krabenhoff will run through this brick wall, to play a game right now. So I think he'll also instill some of that in these guys here. Nolan's a tough kid, so I wouldn't be shocked to see him.
I love the shout out to Joe. Great dude, good coach as well. Wisconsin High Point, that is an early afternoon game on Thursday.